Welcome, everyone, to the 12th episode of the BB&J Show. It is the dozen, but not the baker's dozen. That'll be next week. I am Jay, that lovely, handsome, devilish fella. That way is BB. Say hello, BB, to the adoring fans.
Hi, everybody. Hi.
There you go. We got like 7 highs out of it. It took 12 episodes to get there. BB, how are you doing on this wonderful, wonderful day?
I'm doing amazing, dude. It's I say it every time, dude, and I won't stop saying it. I won't, but I'm always super excited to start the show.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
I'm doing fantastic. How are you doing?
I'm doing great, and I'm going to see how long it takes me to break you this episode. That's usually my goal with something I say, you know.
All right, let's see.
Whether it be the wet fart in church, the drizzling shits, something like that. I don't think they'll be fisting on this episode, but stay tuned. We'll have to wait and find out. BB, let's get started. We have a few things to go over, don't we? I got you a minute in, and I got you.
Okay, yes, we do have some stuff to get into here.
We have a great show lined up for you guys. By the way, I'm gonna remember to do this 2 weeks in a row. 2 weeks in a row at the start. Either, if you haven't already, consider subscribing to the page, liking the video, leaving a comment down below, and dinging our dong to be notified when we put up new episodes. So, we're going to get into a lot of things today. We have the Season 2 of Halo Infinite is out, and BB has played some of it. I've watched some of it. Prepare for that. Some Dying Light news, not Dying Light 2, but Dying Light 1. Some Overwatch 2 fiasco has been going on. Reportedly a new Mafia, and a few other things we're going to get into. So sit back, grab a beverage of your choice, grab a snack of your choice, and enjoy the BB&J Show. So, BB, let's get into it.
Look. We talk about games here all the time.
We do indeed.
And most of the time, they're filled with angry J rants because, I mean, come on. That's where the gaming industry is at the moment, you know?
Designed to piss me off, yeah.
Yeah, pretty much. But, you know, I feel like we haven't really talked too much about what games, like, we are excited for this year. There's a ton of games that were supposed to come out, you know, last year or the year before, you know, and then, you know, pandemic happened and everything. So we're finally starting to see that wave come out, right? Like those waves of games. So I thought it was a good idea to talk about what are 2 games that you are either most excited for or at least curious to see, you know?
Yeah.
What do you think, Jane?
So, the funny, I'll start with the game I'm sort of trepidatious about, and that's the Bethesda space romp. Because again, it's space. Woo! Bethesda. Aw. So you know, I'm a little trepidatious about that, to be honest with you, and how they tell their stories and things like that. So I'm kind of, you know,
I totally understand. Yeah.
As far as games I'm really excited for, I don't know that I'm excited for any game that's coming out this year. Okay. To be honest with you, so I will rather than just take the punt on that, I will just tell you that by default I'm excited for Mass Effect 4, or whatever they're gonna call it. Even if, look, people hated Andromeda, I still love Andromeda and I still play Andromeda. It's better than people give it credit for.
Yeah.
I'm excited for the Dragon Age game and the Saints Row game. Those are the things that I'm looking forward to whenever they come out. I don't know that I wanted to say maybe the Saints Row is this year, but I don't think so. But I don't know that there's anything this year that I'm really excited for. Honestly, since about 2020, I've sort of been taking games as they come. I've stopped being like forward looking. Baldur's Gate 3, which isn't coming out until next year. That one, if a game with a solid release date, I think is Baldur's Gate. I think is like 2023, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, I think that was the day they actually, or the year they're actually like going to, I guess, push for. Right?
Yeah. That I am through the roof excited for. Like Baldur's Gate 3, it's been hard for me to not play it because it's so good. I have it, and the only reason why I haven't played more of it is because I don't want to get to a point where the content ends and I have to wait. Like
Yes.
I'm so like I want to play that game so badly. So I'm really looking forward to Baldur's Gate 3's the complete release. And then those are the ones. But you know, I'm hopefully the Bethesda space game doesn't suck balls, but you know, we'll see.
Definitely. Yeah, I'll start off with that one as well. I think that one is the one that I'm just excited for, only for the aspect of like the space, right, theme,
Yeah.
right? But the same thing that you said, that's the whole like, I don't know how they're gonna do it. I don't know if it's gonna be a completed game. So that one is just kind of like on my like low radar, where I'm like, I just want to see something. So
Yeah.
hopefully in June, when we talked about in the last episode, we talked about the showcase. So hopefully, if we see anything there, maybe it'll change, right? Maybe if they actually show us gameplay, because it's supposed to come out this year
Right.
in November, I would assume that there would be some type of gameplay, right? At least like show me like 10 seconds, but like there's been nothing. um, but yeah, that one is definitely like on the radar, because I love space games.
Same. Yeah.
I would say there's a you're right, like the rest of this year there's really not too many games I would say that are like going to be, I guess, heavy hitters, other than maybe God of War Ragnarok, if it does come out this year. I
Mm.
will say that would probably be a heavy hitter. For the only thing is that's a PlayStation exclusive, right? So if you have a PS5, I'm jelly, because you'll be able to experience that, and then PC players have to wait like 5-10 millennium,
Yeah.
for the game to come out. But I would say that would probably be like the heavy hitter towards the end of the year.
Yeah.
For me, there's only two games that are really like kind of like, I wouldn't even say super excited, but I do want to see what happens with them, and I want to get my hands on, right?
Mm.
Um, I would say it has to be the Saints Row game. After seeing that trailer where you could literally just um customize every single feature.
Customize your wiener.
Yes, that.
Mm.
Yeah, I'm excited to just have a ton of fun doing
Yeah.
just crazy stuff, right?
Yeah.
I feel like we haven't really had too many games like that where you could just jump in and just, cause chaos if you wanted to.
Yeah.
So I feel like that one would be a really cool game, especially with co-op. Just going in, playing in a huge open world, and sometimes forgetting that you actually have missions to do, right?
Yeah.
So that one is definitely one I'm excited for, and then the other one has to be the Harry Potter game.
Yes.
One,
Yes.
because it got delayed and we only saw a teaser trailer for it. I think it was last year when it was mentioned.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh snap, Harry Potter game, no way. But because games were being delayed, I was still cautious about it, because I was like, ooh, yeah, I got pushed back. You know what happens with games that have been pushed back lately? They get pushed and they're not completed.
No. Or
So,
and
excuse me.
they're not released completed.
Halo. Excuse me.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, after we saw that the showcase they did were a 14-minute. Okay, people call it like 14-minute gameplay trailer. No, I feel like this was a 14-minute freaking let's show you why we delayed the heck out of this game trailer.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I saw in that trailer, because you literally saw from customizing your character to gameplay, combat, exploration, being at Hogwarts itself, right? So
Yeah.
that got me pretty excited. I love games, so I will always get hyped for any game, even if it's complete garbage, right? But I am hype
Yeah.
for this, right? At least seeing something. This is the reason why I'm not hyped for like what's it called, Starfield, because I
Mm.
haven't seen anything.
Yeah.
Like, there's no reason for me to get hyped. The only thing I'm excited for is that we're getting a new space game. That's it.
Yeah. Yeah. That's
But
fair.
I haven't seen anything, and the trailer itself it looked awesome, but it
Mm.
was just a CGI trailer. Like, that's it. Like, I mean, why would I get excited for something like that? It's not like it was going to be a TV show or like a movie or something, right?
Yeah.
So that would have to be for me. Those two games are the ones that I would say I'm more on the like excited part for.
Question: is the Harry Potter game confirmed for this year, or was that pushed back another year?
They confirmed holiday, so
Okay,
they
so
did
that one
say
would be what I'm excited for this year because I am equally
okay.
excited. I completely when I spaced it when you mentioned it, I was like, oh yeah, that game. Because I completely look, we've done 12 episodes. I can't. I know we spoke about it in one of our earlier episodes, but
No, yeah,
I can't be fucked to remember exactly what we said or why we said it. I probably yelled at something. But
yeah,
you know.
probably.
I'm excited. I'm excited for that game. You know, like we spoke about with the Saints Row thing, is the customization, right? Like the ability to customize your character and everything,
Yes.
and put yourself in there. The only thing was the non-cooperative multiplayer aspect of it that was kind of a
Yes.
bit of a draw. But
Mhm.
yeah, that one's what I'm excited for this year for sure. As I said, I saw the Harry Potter films as an adult. I came to
Oh
them.
yeah,
I
yeah.
came to them late, even though I think I am about. I would be Harry Potter's age. Like it when the movies were released, I was his age, so I was in that perfect demographic. But missed the boat completely. But I came to the films later in life, and I really enjoyed them. And to have a game with where you can just explore and it's your story and everything is going to be really exciting. So I am looking forward to that. But speaking of potential game releases and things like that, there may be a old classic getting a new addition to the franchise soon.
Yes. They are. It's the article's very like kind of just pretty much what the title says is what the article is about, and
They turned the title into a
we
hundred words.
exactly yeah. But no, there has been a report on a new Mafia game that is under development by a new studio. Um, and the thing is like the what was it? Recently was the remastered,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, yeah. They remastered
That's
the
what yeah,
Essential
the
Trilogy.
collection.
Yeah.
Yes, correct. Yeah, the trilogy. And so this is supposed to be a sequel to the trilogy,
Mm,
to the new Mafia game. Not very many details in it. It was literally just that. Just hey, we're working on a new game. That's it.
yeah.
Um and I think this was cool. I really didn't think they were gonna make another one. I thought it was pretty much finished. I will say one and two to me were probably one is the best one to in my opinion.
Yeah.
Um, I don't know. It's just it has some really cool features, such as like when you drive around. That's probably one of my favorites. You drive around and you actually have to put gas in your car. Like
Yes. Yes.
that's so cool. I
Oh.
know it sounds like tedious, and you're like, but like I don't know, like being able to do that in the game. It's like
Mm-hmm.
you always have unlimited gas anywhere, any game you
Mm-hmm.
play, right?
Mm-hmm.
So the fact that you actually had to go and like fill up your tank, that was to me for its time like game changing. I was like, oh snap, this is too realistic. I had to stop playing this game. It's too real. But Mafia, I think it was a great series. I
Yeah.
really think it was a great series, and I'm actually pretty excited to see that they're continuing the franchise.
Same. I got time for me to bust out. Back in my day, I had the original Mafia on the original Xbox when it came out.
Mhm.
Like when it first came out, and it was one of those first games. Like okay, so you know how you go from a gamer who can't beat a game, like complex games, and you have someone you'll yeah, sure, uh huh.
Never.
How many games have you finished on your stream? Yeah, right.
Oh, God. Okay.
Yeah,
What?
yeah, yeah,
Continue.
yeah.
Go ahead.
Um,
Go.
so there's a moment I think in every gamer's gaming life, aside from the few savants or whatever, where you go from the younger gamer who plays a game, and just sort of fumble fucks to getting past a certain point, and then you get to a point in which you can't pass, and you have an older sibling or somebody come in and sort of pinch hit for you, and sort of get you past a certain point, and you keep doing it, but then there comes a point. Nope, got to pause.
Mhm.
Perfect. It may have paused. It may have broken right on time. Okay, there we go. Then it comes a point where you break through and you beat the game and you get past every like parts of it and everything. I think this is my antivirus is performing background tasks. Okay. Uh, but then you break through and you beat the game. You beat all the levels. That was Mafia's for me. Like that was the first sort of open world GTA-esque game that I was able to complete on my own, and so I loved it. I loved the ability to you had to put gas in your car. You couldn't just steal any car.
Well,
And you had there was a button that you could press to go to speed limit, because you would get cops would see you for speeding. And so like all of those little things where it's like you play a game like GTA, like GTA Online or something, and you kind of you're playing with your friends, and we've used, I think plenty when we played, what if you had to put gas in your car? Would you imagine if you had to put gas in your car? They could. So like it's cool to see. Mafia did it. 3. I never played 3. Actually, I never played 2 either, but I have 2. I was able to get 2 after the fucking absolute drizzling shits that Deep Space Battle Sim was. I took the $10 from that, put it in my Steam. I got a refund, put it in my Steam wallet, and Mafia 2 was on sale, and I used the $10 from the refund for Mafia 2. Much better purchase, but Mafia 3 kind of got a lukewarm reception. So I like you thought the franchise was kind of like they weren't really going to do much with it. So I'm glad to see. I think 2K has it now, right? If I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, I think it's
Yeah, I'm glad to see 2K doing something with it. And look, we need more open world kind of games, open world modern games. We're getting a lot of open world sort of fantasy-esque games. The Elden Rings, the Skyrims, the games like that. Yeah. And that's fine. That's good. That's cool. That's fine. I think that's good. But we also need balance. We need sort of and Mafia's not really modern, I don't think. I think they're probably going to go to an older bygone era. But we need, motorized transport and things like that. Like,
yeah, you're right. I think, there hasn't really been too. I mean, there technically was a few that came out, but they just weren't.
They suck.
Oh yeah, that's it. Pretty much, yeah. Like the last one, I would say that's modern / futuristic, I guess, because the whole hacking thing, the Watch Dogs. I think that was the last one that came out, which was Watch Dogs. I think Legion.
Yeah.
Where I don't know whose idea it was. I mean, I guess it's a kind of a cool idea, but like, there's no actual characters. Like you recruit like any NPC could be your character or whatever.
Yeah.
But it just didn't. I guess it just wasn't good.
Yeah. No,
that's all.
It's like gas station sushi. It's not a good idea. Stop it. Don't do it. I'm hopeful. I don't know if we're getting just the sort of it's being developed or whatever. The early leaks are. There's not even concept art or anything.
No, yeah.
So we'll see what happens. I'm hoping for good. It'll be good to get. I'm assuming if we're hearing this now, we'll probably see something maybe. Next year we'll see something maybe, and looking at like maybe a 24-25 release. Give or take. Right. So it'll be deep in the new generation of consoles. And so, they'll develop it for that, and PCs will be on par-ish. So I think it's gonna be cool, and I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, same. So this is something that's new, right? New game being developed. But what about a new game that's being developed, right? But some people are saying something like around the words of like copy paste. What do you think about that?
I think that that Halo 343's ears pricked up, but they're gonna get their beating later in the show. Don't you worry. No. This particular smack over the head is reserved for Overwatch 2, or as somebody once called it, that I heard, Overwatch 1.1. Now, I'm gonna just state for the record, I'm not an Overwatch player. I don't know who's who. None of it. It when it came out, it was like when I think the first game came out. It predates Fortnite, if I'm not mistaken. Because I remember seeing commercials for it and all of this stuff, and the very first commercial looked interesting. I was like, oh, what's this? And then when I read and saw what it was, I was like, this is fucking dumb. I don't want no parts of it. So just, but if you like it, that's you see your issues with that. But no, I didn't care for it too much. And then all these other games sort of came out afterwards and sort of soaked up the air. And Overwatch, from my understanding, was sort of doing its own thing. And good for them. They were doing their own thing, and they kept making content, and they had enough to release an Overwatch 2, and there was a lot of interest, from my understanding, in an Overwatch 2. And then they released Overwatch 2, and it turns out that the mode everybody was really excited for, they didn't release at launch. 343, are you taking notes? Because it seems like you guys have been playing off the same playbook here. And it just turned out that Overwatch 2, in air quotes, is just the same thing as Overwatch 1, because the new thing, the shiny new thing that people want, is not yet done, and it's coming at some nebulous date that who knows will get pushed back about 7 times. And then when there's 4 people playing the game, then they'll release it. You're muted. You're muted.
Yeah, Overwatch 1 came out on what's the date? Oh, the 2016.
Yeah.
That's when it was released. So we had it since 2016, and it developed like a huge fan base. I mean, it's one of those, like, one of the highest like grossing paid games, right?
Mm-hmm.
The thing is that when I also wasn't like, I've played a few I put some time into Overwatch.
Yeah.
This was back when I was like playing competitive games, and I had no idea that games could be so fun when they actually had stories and everything, right? So back when I was playing like competitive gaming, I did play some Overwatch. The thing is, like, I'm not gonna say all competitive games are, but most of them can get like kind of toxic, which is the reason why I don't really play. But it was cool. It's kind of like that, like, it's a team-based arena shooter, right?
Yeah.
With different characters, and they all have abilities, and they all kind of go with each other. You got to find right builds, combos, right? And then I watched some Overwatch 2 gameplay, right, for the beta, and I mean, to be honest with you, when I first watched it, I didn't even look it up. I just saw that Overwatch, someone was streaming Overwatch, like the beta or something.
Yeah.
Or I think it was like maybe one of those like dev things, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I thought I was just like, oh, it's Overwatch. Like, did they update it? And then I found out it was 2. Like, you're watching 2, and I was just like, oh, okay, cool. I mean, why does it look the same? Like,
Yep.
I just got confused. Like, I didn't know. I couldn't tell a difference. Now, maybe someone who's like dedicated to playing Overwatch, and just like a super huge fan, maybe they know. Maybe there's different modes, like Halo, releasing brand new, top of the head modes, right?
Yeah.
Something like that. But yeah, I didn't really see any difference in it. And then the one thing that I thought would be something that I would be interested in, and pretty much everyone was interested in, which what you said was the PvE.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh shit, okay, cool. When are we gonna see it? Because I remember when they announced that was their main focus, was PvE. That was like was gonna separate Overwatch 1 and 2, right?
Yeah.
And then it just was like, well, so that thing that we said that was going to be the new game was going to be about, that's not here, but take this. And it was literally just an Overwatch but with, I guess, enhanced graphics. I don't know. So it kind of sucks, man. Like,
it does.
I'm not gonna say that I was super excited for this, because I don't really play competitive games anymore, but the idea was cool, right? Having all those characters that have different abilities, being able to play in a PvE style like environment.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, that's creative, that's good. I love to see that, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, it does suck for the player base. They don't get what they were most of them were excited for.
Here's the thing. Like, okay, like you said, I don't play competitive games, mostly because I feel like I'm not a competitive person by nature. Like, I really just am not. I'm just like, whatever. I'm just here to have fun, right? I'm just here to, get enjoyment for my time. So I don't normally just go crazy with, competitiveness. Yeah. Top that off with the fact that whenever you have that sort of competitiveness, you're going to have people who dedicate themselves to trying to find an edge. I don't have that kind of time. Nor that if I did have that kind of time, I wouldn't waste it on, that. I would find fulfilling things to do with my time. So when you play a competitive game like that, it's like you'll run into the person who's like, just like been sitting there trying to find the edge, and they found it to the like 0.2 seconds, and you're just like, all right, I don't feel like doing this. So that's my reasoning why I don't care for games like that. But if you're into that sort of game, it's really just one of these things where I don't understand. Like, I'm assuming they get a sort of revenue stream from the competitive side, and I understand that because, like, I know that there is a revenue stream from people trying to find the edge and trying to find, buy skins and packs and all these things. I understand that that's a revenue stream, but what I don't understand is why didn't they focus on the PvE, delay if they had to, and release the PvE first if that's, like sort of, hey, both of these ain't going to be ready, but we could release the PvE and have update Overwatch 1 with some PvP to keep both sides as happy as possible. Get the new players interested in the PvE, and your PvP dedicated base, you update something on Overwatch 1 to make them happy. You give them a new map or whatever, something. To me, that seems like the simple out here. And now of course, they're going to release the PvE part, and you're going to get a portion of players who are going to be like, all right, let me check it out. But you've poisoned the sort of well, unnecessarily, in my opinion. Like, again, I know nothing about programming and gaming and, how easy or hard something like this is, but the theoretical side of it, the PR side of it, seems like this would be the easier, smarter road to take, and they just, for whatever reason, just said, nah, fuck it. And I just don't understand why they did that.
I mean, I guess to just stay relevant, like they don't want people to go anywhere. I guess they're just like, hey, it's their way of like kind of being like, oh, let's make sure that we at least give them something. But you're right, that would have probably been a better call. If not, it most likely would have been a better call just to update the put in some cool new updates to the first game, while they just keep working on this one. Like, the thing is, like, when you do the PvP right aspect of it, there's not that much of a difference. So to me, there's no point in even like wanting to push that first, right?
Yeah,
like you should have just kept it with what you had and just throw it back into development. I mean, completely, and do that. But I mean, I don't know. I mean, that brings us that brings us to what everyone wants to know, and it's literally season Lone Wolf 2 or whatever it's called.
Yeah. Speaking of a company reading from that same hymnal, good Lord Almighty. So, Halo Infinite, the game that has finite content
that we all love here.
I love Halo the franchise. Infinite can take a long walk of a short pier. You were there when I made this comment. Some people might find this controversial, but I made this comment and I got a quote unquote fair from Fletman when I said this. But Halo 5 Infinite is worse than Halo 5. People beat the crap out of Halo 5, but Infinite is worse than Halo 5. And I said it because I've played Halo 5. I didn't play all through it. I didn't finish it. But from when I played a Halo 5, it was better than when I played an Infinite. So, and Fletman, the resident guru of Halo, did say that's fair. He wanted to resist. I heard it in his voice. Flet, when you watch this, I just want you to know I picked up on the resistance in your voice, but I also picked up on the solemn resignation in the fact that Infinite is shit. I'm going to start calling Halo Infinite. I'm going to start calling it Halo Finite because they don't release content.
Oh my God.
But speaking of Halo Finite, Lone Wolves, they're lost too. They lost. Whatever. Lone Wolves was released. They not only did they have the unmitigated audacity to release 2 new air quotes modes, which is just the reskinning of one mode. Actually, all 3 are reskins of one mode, if we're being honest. But one of them ain't even fucking ready yet.
Yeah,
So
he ain't even there.
in true 343 fashion, we're gonna not give you everything at launch or at the date we say. But
So bad.
the season released, BB, you got the battle pass, I believe, right? The first battle pass.
Yeah, I to that scam. Yes.
Yeah, yeah. You got the first battle pass. You went through the battle pass rewards, air quotes again, and you played Last Spartan Standing and what was it, King of the Hill? Was what you
King of the
played?
Hill. Yeah, the
Yeah,
two new modes. Yeah.
they're not new, but yeah. Well, one of them, yeah,
One of them
yeah.
is I guess
So
new. But
so take us through, because I'm going to give my perspective as a viewer, because I watched you play The Last Spartan Standing, and I watched you guys all play King of the Hill.
yeah.
I'm going to give my perspective, and I was there when you did the Battle Pass stuff, but I'm going to give you my perspective when we're done. But take us through, because you had the first-hand experience. Take us through what you felt going through the Battle Pass rewards, air quotes, and playing Last Spartan Standing, which is the Battle Royale, if people aren't aware, because that's what fucking Halo needed, of course, and King of the Hill. Take us through your experiences, your thoughts and reactions.
Let me take a deep breath for this one. All right. All right. So, experience with the battle pass, right? I'm a fellow Halo player who fell for the first battle pass, the scam that is, right? And in that one, it was very just, get a knee pad here, get a shoulder pad here. Oh snap! You unlock the sticker. That's pretty much what it was, right?
Mm-hmm.
But in the battle pass, you did have to, if you got the battle pass, you got something that they are implementing here now that they haven't in the other ones. You get a core, a core, which is like the an armor core, right? Which is like the layout of your armor, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that was in the first battle pass. You had to buy the battle pass to get that armor set, right?
Yep.
And then you would go ahead and unlock things for it and whatnot, right?
Mm-hmm.
So we come to Halo 2 season or Halo 2 Halo Infinite season 2 Lost Lone Wolves, right?
Yeah.
And when we were going through it was the same reaction I really had with the first one, and it was literally that the only difference I could say is that you don't have to buy the pass to get the armor core now. That's I don't know if that deserves a clap or thumbs up, maybe.
What would you do if you were in church and you heard someone drop a wet fart? That's the reaction that you get, because this is a wet fart in church. Go on.
But yeah. And then as we kept going through the battle pass, they added like colors to guns, I guess, right? Like some new skins for your guns. Some cool, gloves, shoulder pads. It was the same thing. Shoulder pad right side, and then not even the same level, like shoulder pad left side. Why? I don't know, but that's exactly the same thing they did. Now, I will tell you this. They did think of everyone and wanted to implement what every battle royale has at this point, and it's currency.
Of course.
So if you buy the battle pass, right? So pretty much all the people who bought the first one, like, it was just like,
yeah, you got scammed.
You fell for that shit. You got scammed. That's your fault. And then now the second season, it's like, oh, you want to buy the battle pass? Here's some credits. If you complete the entire battle pass, the next one is free, right? If you don't buy anything, you essentially get enough to buy a new battle pass, and then so on and so forth, right?
Yeah.
But yeah. And then I will tell you the other thing. The last thing would be that you get in the first battle pass, you got like some cool like flame armor or flamed like visuals on your
I remember
body
that.
and then on your head, right?
Yeah.
God, the season 2 battle pass, I think you just got like some freaking shoulder pads and some gloves.
If even that, it's like some forearm piece with a light.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh
Yep.
my god,
Yeah.
yeah. Exactly. It
The
was
PTSD was blocking it out. I had to remind you.
You're right. Yes, exactly. That's what it was. And I was just like, wow, like y'all really gonna pay for this? You know, like, hey, you look, I'm nobody to tell you do what to do with your money or whatnot, but like, if you get that, that's just, it's literally almost like, the first time you got scammed, that's definitely your fault, right? But it's not that much of a hit because it was like the first battle pass, everybody was like, hyped for the game release, right? All of
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
But this time, if you do, that's definitely a scam, and it's definitely your fault if you get it because, you know, yeah, it may be cool that they give you colors and stuff like
The
on
colors aren't
in
even
your phone.
cool.
Like the thing is that they're only for specific cores, which I don't get that at all. Like why do you have to grind or buy? If anything, not even grind anymore. Buy colors for different armor cores, and it's the same damn color.
Blue.
Like why?
$5 for blue. As a famous
Exactly.
YouTuber once said, yeah, it's
Yeah. Yeah, so that was my experience with the battle pass. Okay, then we move on to the game modes. We got Last Spartan Standing, which is their call to a battle royale. Right, it's a free for all event, or well, not even event, a mode. Right. I don't know if it's going to be permanent or not because no one knows what's permanent in this game. Like no, like you could be playing team deathmatch, and then tomorrow they only have free for all. Like, it just doesn't. I don't understand the way that they have this set up, these like modes or whatever.
mm,
But essentially, what it is 12 players go into an arena on one of the new maps, and it's the BTB map, right?
mm-hmm.
And I think you get 5 lives, right?
Yeah, yeah,
And then once you run out of lives, you can leave the match because that's it. You lost.
yeah.
Um, every so often you can upgrade yourself, which is what that means is just your loadout, the guns that you get, certain amount of kills or points or XP. That's what they call it. You get XP in the game in the match, and you can, for some reason, you can pick up the dead Spartans XP when they die. I
Yeah.
don't know how that's possible, but
Or why? But yeah.
or why that's possible. Yeah, right. Like, but yes, you can do that, and then you steal their XP, I guess, and you level up, right? And you continue to level up until you reach, I guess, the final level, and you're like supposed to have the best gear or the best weapons, right? But I will tell you, out of the 3 matches I played, it's all about camping and waiting in corners, waiting for this. What did you call it, Jay? That zone?
Oh, the impact zone. This is fucking crazy. So goddamn hokey and just.
That just like starts to slowly like come in until like the last people are surrounded by the zone and everybody goes ham, right? Um, not for me. As a
No.
person who has played battle royales, now keep in mind this isn't like a huge battle royale like the other games are, right? Like Fortnite, Apex, right? But this is their sort of smaller version of an arena battle royale, I guess you could say, right?
Yeah.
Definitely not for me. I feel like it's just chaos. Like you can be focused on somebody and then someone comes third parties you, and at the same time they get their fourth party
It's
and then
not
fifth
good
party,
chaos.
and it's literally just, it's more frustrating than
Yeah.
fun.
Yeah.
I would say.
Yeah.
I honestly did not have fun. I tried to go in. I always do this. Any type of game or any new mode, update content, whatever. Because you want to make sure you give a good review about it, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
You
Yeah.
want to come with an open mind. All right, what is this mode about? Okay, this, and this. I honestly didn't like it. That's just me though. Like
Mm-hmm.
I didn't like it because like one, the zone takes forever to start moving.
Yeah.
So by the time the zone starts moving, you got like 4 people left who are camping, don't want to come out corners,
Yep.
right? And or they got like freaking the cloak on, or they're running around with freaking what is the special called?
Oh, overshield.
Overshield, like freaking just run around with overshield, right? and and the third parties or fourth parties, whatever, you could be, fighting a 1v1, and I mean, I guess you can call that like, you know, uh, fun or competitive. Oh snap! Somebody else came into the fight, but like, I don't know. I to me, it was just too much of a mess,
Yep.
and I didn't see the point of it. To me, if you're gonna be playing a battle royale, it's got to be a bigger environment, or at least, I don't know, just the zone to move quicker.
I have a few I will get your review on the King of the Hill, but there's a few ways that I think first of all, the mode shouldn't exist, but if it's gonna exist, there's a few ways that I think that they can tweak it to quote unquote fix it. But I think, yeah, no, it doesn't look like it would be anything I'd be interested in, because the only time I really had fun with Infinite so far was when we had a bunch of people in the Discord playing on the big team battles. That's when I had fun with Halo.
On top of that, yeah, you can't, like, I know it's a free for all mode, but you can't even like load with your friends or have like your own, I guess, thing.
Why would they let you have fun?
Like a custom game? Yeah, right. Maybe like a custom game, but like, I don't know, just.
Yep.
Like, I get they're trying to do like this competitive edge or whatever to it, like that Halo used to have, but it made more sense back then, like with the traditional modes, and them trying to come up with new ideas. I feel like they're just not good.
A lot of things Halo used to make sense. Yeah. But now we get to Halo Finite's second of the two quote unquote new modes, King of the Hill, and yeah, go on. Tell us what you thought of King of the Hill, and that says most of what I. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's literally just like all the other modes. It's just that it moves, and you have to stay on it. It's exactly the same thing as anything else. It's just like,
Strongholds.
that you'll score. Exactly, yeah, like that. There's a zone, you capture it. Whoever stays on it the longest gets the point. That's it. And then it moves. That's it. You got to go chase it down. But yeah, that's all it does. The mode is, or the point, right? The hill, if you would say, right? Moves around instead of just staying in one place or opposite places or whatever. That's all it really was. I
Can I ask a clarifying question, if I may? King of the King of the Hill. Now you play. When I watch you and Flet teamed up with two others, if I'm not mistaken, because I don't think at this point anybody else joined in yet in the Discord. I think it was just you and Flet.
No, yeah.
Can you do that? Like, is it a free for all version of King of the Hill, or is it only teams?
That one I am not sure. I didn't see any free for all King of the Hill versions. It looked like it was just a team based game.
Yeah. So, overall, out of 10, what would you give the combined battle pass rewards and the two modes that you played? Out of 10, having played it, what would you give it out of 10?
I hate that I have to do this. I really do. Honestly, season 2 first impressions, there's none. There was no impression. I was not impressed with anything. It literally felt like those little events they do, right?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, there you go. The damn event they have right now, right? Has better rewards than the damn battle pass. Like, oh my god. That's my review there. Out of 10, it's a freaking 2 at least. Because 2 for season 2, bro. That's what it gets. 2 for season 2, and maybe every season we'll add a point to it, because like that's literally it. I don't know. It's crazy because every time like there's an update for a game that you love, you're always like, I can't wait for the update, or I can't wait for like to know what are these things, and we've known what the update was going to be for a while, and we weren't excited then, right?
Nope.
So the thing is, like, even me trying to come into season 2 with an open mind, I still already knew like what was going to happen, right?
Yeah.
And I was like, is this enough? No, but anything can happen. Maybe I'll feel good playing King of the Hill or Last Spartan Standing. Maybe it is fun, right? Maybe this is gonna bring me back to play Halo every now and then.
Yeah.
Honestly, no. The only time I'll play Halo is maybe if the team, the anyone's on the Discord wants to play, or if
No,
anything, right? But
no.
but to be honest, yeah, I don't think that the battle pass is worth it. I feel like there's not enough content yet. There's no point in getting it because unless you want to keep playing the same modes over and over and over, I guess, right? Like it's
Yeah.
just not. I don't know. I just it's definitely lacking, and the biggest thing that worries me is actually I'm not even worried about this game anymore. To be honest with you,
No, this game
like
it's
like I'll always love Halo, right? But
mhm.
this right here, it's hopefully maybe I'll revisit this, like actual revisit if it gets good. Hopefully in like a year or two, right,
Yeah.
when it's actually done,
Yeah.
because the fact that they have the seasons lasting like 6 months, you telling me I gotta play? I have 6 months of just two modes and then one that'll come out when a week before the damn season's over. Like I don't even they don't even know when when that mode's coming out,
Mhm.
and it's just literally King of the Hill 2.
Yeah.
That's what it is. Like, oh my
Which
god.
is Strongholds 3. I just want to say we started this show, I believe it was the first week in February, if I'm not mistaken, because it's been about 12. It's been 14 weeks because we've missed 2 episodes, I believe.
Yeah.
So it's been 14 weeks since we've been doing this. So it's been about 3.5 months. So we started in February, and for 3.5 months, we've been talking every once in a while about Halo Finite. And so far, up until today, the 12th episode, we've crossed the pantheon has been crossed because up until this point, I was beating the shit out of this game, and you were playing the devil's advocate. We've gotten to the point in which you are off the train, my friend. You are done. You've put it down. You've laid it to rest. It took you 14 weeks of the same bullshit, but I'm proud of you to have come to the light of where I've been for the past. For 14 weeks I've kept a nice little spot warm for you. So come on over. Don't feel fine. The water's great. I'm gonna tell you I haven't played Halo Finite since February 8th, I think it is,
Yeah.
when I checked on
We
Steam.
like started the show.
Yeah, I haven't played it since we started the show. Exactly. Listen, I am giving you opinions that is steadfast. I've said I've put this game to bed, and I have. I haven't played since we started this show, so I am Honest Abe, even though my name isn't Abraham. Anyway, I'm gonna give you my review of a viewer, if you will, and I want to start off by saying I was hoping, and I said this. When did you guys play it? It came out the day you guys played on Tuesday.
On
I
the
think.
third, it came out on the third. That's when
Yeah,
we
so you played it Tuesday, yeah. And I wanted to. I said it then to you and to Fletman and to the other people in the call. I was hopeful. I hoped I was wrong. I wanted so badly to be wrong. With because of the modes and the way I read it, I was just like, this is just strongholds. What are we doing here? And I told you guys, I said I wanted it to be wrong. I was hoping to come in here to see that it's different and be like, oh, interesting. All right, maybe but no. And going through the battle pass with you guys, first of all, I never got the first battle pass because I don't believe in battle passes. I think if a game is free, it's free, and you move on. That's it. I'm not gonna especially, first of all, nothing I unlocked, because I didn't actually unlock anything, in the first go around was worth the $5.99, whatever the battle pass was. And then you actually had to pay more, I think, to unlock other things. Like, it wasn't just you buy the battle pass and that's it. You had to pay, because it wasn't that the samurai sword. You had to pay like $20 at one point to put the samurai sword, just the sword, on you. No, so I didn't get the battle passes. It wasn't anything interesting to me, and I also don't believe in getting battle passes because multiplayer is not where I'm going to put my time. So I'm not going to invest money into it.
Yeah.
But when we were going through the rewards, first of all, there was only one thing that looked kind of cool, but it wasn't pay money kind of cool. It was like one color scheme where it was like the really dark blue, almost purple armor with like the silverish undertones and everything. That looked kind of cool, But the most telling moment for me was when we were going through the rewards. I think the moment I'm going to bring up. We were going through the rewards, and you were like, there was a little bit of hope in your voice, and then you clicked on one of the rewards, and you just go, oh. That was literally what you just like, oh. It sounded like when you get socks for Christmas as a kid. You know, it's like this really cool package. You open it up and you're like, oh. And I was just like, that says it all for me. You know, like, that says it all for me. It was just the air was out of the balloon on that. The balloon was off the rose. And you and Flet, you guys went through the entire battle pass. And you guys, you know, picked it apart, really. And you even went to the end where the high-end, really cool things are. And literally...
stuff, yep.
Yeah, it was just the copium patches. You could put freaking copium shoulder pads, and then the last thing was just like a freaking piece on your arm that you can get a little light. That was the really cool thing.
The night light.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Whatever that is.
So,
wow.
That was the battle pass. So the battle pass never really was worth it, and it didn't seem like they put anything that made it worth it this season. Then I watched you play Last Spartan Standing. First of all, I don't think this mode should exist, because not every... It's like live service. Stop. Not everything needs to be live service. Not every game needs a battle royale. Okay? We can have fun in multiplayer without it being a battle royale. Okay? Can we please... It's 2022, people. Come on. Can we please come around to this realization? We don't always need a battle royale. What about Halo says, yeah, this game is great, but it needs a battle royale. Stop.
I mean,
get some help.
Content. That's why.
It's not, that's the thing. It's not. I watched it. The map is too big. The map is too big for 12 people. Okay.
12 people. Yeah, you're right.
12 individuals. Like, if you want to do 3-3-3, 4 teams of 3, I think that's kind of cool, honestly. A concept of 4 teams of 3, you know, where you guys got, like, a point system, you know, and whatever. But 12 individuals, no.
Yeah, this could have definitely been. I know you were talking earlier about how you had some things that you could add to it, right, to make it better. And you're right, definitely. I also agree with you. I think that Last Spartan Standing shouldn't have been, like, at least like a free for all, right? Like you saying with the team base, that definitely would have. I could definitely see that being a little bit better and more controlled, and not much of a mess that it currently is at, right?
Yeah, like I would say 4 teams of 3, or even 6 teams of 2 if you want to get really kinky. You know, like, do something like that. And, you know, it's like, the map is too big. Put it in Firefight. I think if you're going to put 12 individuals, Firefight is a good enough map for it, which is the military training ground map, if you don't know the maps well enough to know them off the hand. Maybe you know them by sight. The military training ground, put it in there. And I think you're okay with 12 individuals, but you shouldn't have 12 individuals. It's just weird. It doesn't work. Nothing about Halo works in a battle royale setting. You know, Fortnite, for all its ills, works, and, you know, because it's a battle royale based game. Yeah. Apex has special, like, you know, legends that have their own unique powers, and it's sort of like a combo. You're sort of comboing up. Can you work together? Yeah. You know, you have different legends that fit well with each other, etc. Even Overwatch is like an arena-based shooter, as you were talking about, the different... Like, those things work. The Spartans, they're all the same fucking thing. They don't do anything different. It's not like each one has different powers, right? It's not like you have a rocket Spartan and a jetpack Spartan and a, you know, whatever, where you can, like, maybe tweak some things and make combos and fun. And it doesn't work. Halo's gameplay style never worked with a battle royale, because Halo's gameplay style, you know, you have your shields, you have your this, it just doesn't work in a battle royale setting. So try to make it, and then you try to copy all these other things, XP, exactly, and all of these things. Like, XP is not a Halo. Like, you don't have XP in Halo. Like, you know, if you did, it's something you got rewarded after the match nebulously, and you got a rank up that didn't really matter much, you know, in those old days. it's just, it's so wrong. Like it's so asinine. Get your battle royale out of my Halo, but it's here. It's probably here to stay because 343 wants to circle jerk everything everybody else is doing. They got the live service, they got the battle royale. Next, watch next mode. You can build. Watch.
Oh my God! Stop! Don't even
watch.
Honestly, I don't even care. Go ahead, do it.
It's coming. It's coming. Building probably is coming to Halo Finite.
Oh
then
Jesus.
We moved from the mode that could have been better as a team-based mode to the mode that's a team-based mode that should have been a single-based mode. How is it that you have King of the Hill as a team game? Like, it's strongholds.
Yeah.
Like, the hill... Okay, in one of the maps, the hill is exactly at the same part as one of the stronghold centers. Literally, it is exactly there. It's a firefight. It's where B is. If you know what firefight is, and if you know where B is in strongholds, that's where one of the King of the Hill modes. It is just. I was so disappointed. I cannot tell you, and that's with having almost no expectations. I was so disappointed how blatant it was. It was just such a ripoff. Like I honestly couldn't believe it. To be completely honest with you, I was a little shocked that they were that just brazen with their bullshit. Here's what I think. King of the Hill, first of all, should be a free-for-all game. It should not be a team-based game. It is King of the Hill, not Kings of the Hill. It is King of the Hill, whatever. I think they should have, instead of...
That would have been a little bit, actually kind of fun. Like, I mean...
Yeah, it'd be chaos.
You're owning the zone, and then you're like, oh snap, trying to ward everybody off, and then somebody gets you, and now they own. Like, come on, that sounds fun,
right? Here's what I would have done.
Like one thing, real quick, like that I wish that they would have done with that mode is like, why can't they set them in the high points where it's like you can do like trick plays and stuff instead of just putting it on like flat surfaces around the map, like. In the what's that map that most people play 1v1 on?
But live fire? It's a live fire, not a firing range or whatever I called it before. It's live fire. Live fire. Yeah.
That tower that could just be the hill, and imagine trying to go in there and fighting over it. Instead, they put it at the bottom of the hill.
They put it at B.
Yeah, a B. Yeah.
B. They put it at B. Here's the thing. I would have done if I was making decisions at 343. What I would have done is, instead of, first of all, no, whoever's like, let's do a battle royale, they would have been fired. But besides that, I would have said, you know what? Here's what I want the artists to do. I want the artists to come together and make a new map, and I want a map where there's like, bunkers or little things around, and in the middle there's like this large hill, and it doesn't have to be a steep incline. It could be, you could gradually, if you want to make it big, whatever, make a big team one where it's like 16 person free for all, and make like an 8 person free for all, right? 2 versions of the same map, one larger, one smaller, and at the top of the hill, that's where the King of the Hill, that's where the zone is. That's what you're fighting for. You have a larger one and a smaller scale one. Think about the cool things that you could have done. If you, and on the larger, like the 16 one, have like maybe, I don't know, a tank. Not all kinds of vehicles, but just spawn like a tank, right? And you could take pot shots and try to clear the hill and make a charge for it. There's so many things.
You could even do the like the free for all, like with the smaller maps, right? Or even if it was like not smaller maps, smaller teams or players, right?
Yeah.
Even with the larger players too, you could even set that hill to have like power weapons. Like if you're in the zone, you can pick up power weapons or something to defend yourself from everyone who's coming at you. Mm-hmm. Like, it's just so many things you could be so creative with, right?
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't always have to be so basic and bland. Like, you can, like, that's the thing about Halo, that it was always so fun to play these freaking exaggerated modes sometimes, right? Because it was just, that's the whole thing. That's the whole point, is to have fun, right? And like I feel like what they've been doing is that yes, they have a rank section, but that's why they have a rank section, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because there's people who want to take the game serious, like super serious, and be like, hey, I want to go against people who are extremely good or whatever, or be like Flatman and go against someone who's like an esports person, right?
Yeah.
Like, and then you have the normal modes for casual players who just want to have fun.
Yep.
Like, there's your team deathmatch, right? There's your domination type games, right? Okay, now have this cool game mode, King of the Hill, where it's just complete chaos, where it's a free for all, where one person has to try to hold the top of the hill. They got crazy weapons up there, and everyone else is coming up to that hill as well to take over it.
Yeah. How cool?
How hard is that?
It's not.
I don't see how hard that is.
It's
like you couldn't develop a map for a specific game mode, and you could even still put that map in the other game modes.
Put it, yeah.
It's just that one exactly like that King of the Hill map could be a TDM map. The only thing is that it will only for King of the Hill you only get that map, right?
Or
that's the King of the Hill map. Like I don't know.
Yeah, man. like the King of the Hill map, right? You can use that one flag, capture the flag. The one flag's up there. Like there are things you can do with it. And I think about how cool it would be, right? You have the gravity hammer and there's like 3 people up there on that hill and you smack it down and they go flying away, or the repulsing someone off the hill. Like it would be so much fun to do, or you're trying to charge up the hill at somebody, and it's like things like that. Look at what we did in the last 10 minutes. We spitballed and improved the freaking mode. We don't even in 10 minutes we put in more effort than not the developers or the people who work on the game. It's the people who make the decisions. Mm-hmm. We put in more effort than the decision makers have in the last 10 months.
That's probably why a lot of people are just like, I don't care about anything else but Forge. I'm not gonna come back till Forge is there. Because then these things are possible, right?
Yeah.
People can go and make these type of game modes, and that is another part of like the best, like one of the best parts, if not the best part of like Halo multiplayer was Forge, right? So it's just, but my thing is just kind of like, why? Like you have to have like an action plan for this type of stuff, man. Like it's not that hard, all right? Like it really isn't that hard, and I get it. I'm not a game developer. I don't know anything about coding and graphics and
same.
Like none of that, right? But it always starts with a plan and an idea and then a concept, and then it just moves up from there, right?
Yeah.
Like how hard is it to just make something? What we just talked about, it took us 10 minutes to come up with something, right? And it's already better than what is out right now, and you could have so many ways to modify that specific idea. Doesn't necessarily have to be the idea that we have, but like that literally is the foundation of something that could be amazing. Like,
and I'll tell you what makes me really sad about what we just did. I want that mode, but that mode ain't coming. That mode ain't coming. It's like it makes me sad because I want that mode. That's the mode I want, but that mode ain't coming. That train ain't on the tracks, and that's the sad part. It's like but look, I don't know how to code. I know shit about computers and really and all of that. The fact that we can do this without me exploding something is a small miracle. But I can't believe it's all that difficult to make content. And let's be honest. I say make content blanket statement because so far 343 has not made content. They have not. I don't care. They've rehashed shit that's in the game. They literally took strongholds, took 2 of them zones away, recolored the little zone barrier, renamed a few things, and gave it to you. The only positive that I could even look for, and this is you're stretching real thin if you're calling this a positive. The only positive I could think of is that it brought strongholds to new maps, because
Yeah.
What is it? Bazaar. King of the Hill was in Bazaar or something like that at one point, right? It was like in a map that Strongholds isn't for whatever
Yeah.
reason. So, hooray! If you wanted to play Strongholds in Bazaar, you have King of the Hill now. Like,
Yeah.
woohoo! You've won. You've won the 343 Halo Finite content sweepstakes by being able to play Strongholds in like one new map. So hooray for you. I just look. I said it the last time. This game has jumped the shark. It's Forge is going to bring some people back, but it's not going to be enough to bring. Like we're doing the Halo tournament is coming up. It'll be the 21st is the date we've settled on, and we're using Infinite. We're using Halo Finite, and I gotta tell you, I'm gonna be honest with you. I regret that we made that decision, because while it allows some people to join who wouldn't otherwise have been able to because it's free. I'm dreading the technical headaches that are gonna come. Because even the esports things are having like disconnections and everything, so I'm dreading the technical issues that we're gonna be faced with. But it's just Halo Finite is dead. It is just dead is the only way I can describe what it is now. And Forge will bring some people back, but honestly, I don't know that I'll ever be playing Infinite, because I'm not even in the tournament. So I don't know that I'll ever be playing Infinite again. If I'm being completely honest with you, I don't know that the day will come where I will be playing it on purpose. Maybe if somebody's like, hey, come play, we need, maybe, but not likely. When co-op campaign comes out, I'm going to play that with Gresham, and, I'll be playing campaign depending on how wretched it is, because I do play through the Halo campaigns every once in a while, but no, Halo Finite is done.
Yeah, this
I don't know.
It's hard. It's hard to take it in, man, because it's Halo,
Yeah.
And I will say the thing is, like, with this this is Steam, of course, right?
No.
But with Halo, with Season 2 coming out, it did get a kind of a higher peak, if you would say, with players. Because the last time in April, we were getting like a daily peak of like 7,000 players, right? Average or so. Right now, the minimum daily for at least for May, right? The currently from Season 2 is you're looking about like 9,000 daily peak. So that's all you really got.
Did they show? Is there like a peak? Like, because I think date like the 3rd would be you're looking probably. I would say the peak. You're gonna be seeing the 3rd, and when it first released, the 3rd, and this weekend maybe, because you'll get some people who couldn't play as a weekday or whatever, and they play on a weekend. But I think honestly, an influx of just 2,000 people. It's like the thing that
here's the thing for it, right? So you're looking at that same day, right?
Mm-hmm.
The peak of it was about 21,000. So I guess people were like, "Oh, Halo Infinite 2 came out. Let's see what they got." And then it just dropped to like around 13, and then just was slowly decline, slowly to where you're at right now, currently around like the 11,000. Like 10,000, 11,000.
So half the people that came back on Tuesday to see what's there.
On Tuesday to see what was there, and then it just instantly started to go down.
I mean,
like, oh, there's nothing.
And I will say again, you never hold a game to its standard. You never hold a game to its peak, right? Because that's the point. It's the peak. It's the highest point it's ever gonna be. Mm-hmm. But I just use the peak as a point of data to say that at one point you had over 250,000 people playing Halo Infinite. Now you were going to lose more than half of that anyway, but that you've lost so many, because 200 and something thousand to 20,000, that's like you're 10% of your peak.
And that's because Season 2 came out,
right?
it being 21,000 or 20,000.
And you lost half of that in its
Exactly.
third. We're filming this on Thursday, by the way. We're looking at this on Thursday, not Friday, not
Yeah.
Saturday. Thursday. 2 days later, you lost half the people that came
Yeah.
back by rather, and actually technically, if your average was about 7,000 and you bumped up to what 21,000, so
Mhm.
that's an influx of 14,000 people, and you're now down to 11,000. You lost about 10,000 people, so that's more than half the people that came back. You've lost already.
Yeah, and you can see the breakdown easily, like on here, and of course, this is Steam, right? Steam charts, but which it's still a huge number of players. But when we started it November, right? When it was beta, which is I still
It
feel it's
still
beta,
is.
but the beta, right? You were at average of like the peak average was like at 269,000, right?
Yeah.
And December came, and they literally lost like 100,000. It went down to 146,000, right? The next month, and then slowly every month it was literally really bad. I mean, and I want to say the worst of it was probably um around February, because it was January was 61,000, and then you lost half the player base to 31,000 around February. And then like it was almost a pattern of how many people they were losing, because then you did another half in March, which was it went down to 15,000, April 10,000, and then May, once this game releases, it goes all the way back to 21,000, which it couldn't even go to uh the peak of January of 2022, right when the year started,
Mm-hmm.
to 61,000. That was the peak for January. So, like, you only got about 10, 11,000 players back on, in the beginning of May, because they wanted to see the BS, right?
And you lost
Uh,
about 9,000 of them already.
well, yeah, yeah,
2 days, like 48 hours. Because it's been about 48 hours since that patch released.
yeah.
And it's just like, look, I just think, and I would like to see, I would be very curious as to see when they announced that Forge wasn't coming when they said it was coming. Because I'm willing to
Mm,
bet that February dump was
probably, yeah,
probably tied into when they announced that Forge. Forge ain't coming this anytime soon, and neither is co-op, because
yeah. You're right. You're right.
it would be very interesting to see.
It has to be February-ish, because I think when we touched on it, it was probably like February, March, somewhere
Yeah,
around there,
yeah.
when we were talking about it. And I was like, so that definitely could be the reason why when it started to lose half of its peak every single month,
Yeah,
because of that.
because
No
people.
one saw anything. They're like, oh, this is not coming for another 5 years or
Yeah,
something, because like,
I mean, I think
yeah.
people are just people are tolerant, but they're not. Their patience aren't infinite. Ironically enough, right? People are tolerant. Like like I think people will put up with, okay, yeah, this is it's not complete, but Forge is coming. Once Forge comes in May, will be great. And it's like, oh, season 2 is gonna last 6 months. Oh, if Forge isn't coming until after season 2.
And and they didn't even say the start of season 3.
Yeah.
That's the part that gets everyone, that
Mm-hmm.
they did not confirm it was at the start of season 3.
It
So
it won't be.
yeah, exactly. And we're currently know that the seasons last 6 months, right? So you're saying that from season 3 it can be anywhere between that 6 months or even further that Forge will come.
So,
So like, you do lose hope. You're just
yeah,
like, well, this is never coming.
yeah. I'm not gonna bother. Like, look, I'm just gonna go to something else. Like, so
Yeah,
season,
you know how many games are releasing between
dude.
that time?
You know how much my
People are just gonna
backlog?
jump on that.
Do you know how deep my backlog of games that I gotta finish is? I got time to be sitting here and playing the same fucking thing over and over again. Get the fuck out of here. It's like the thing is like, so season 2 started May 3rd. Fast forward 6 months. You're talking November 3rd,
Yeah.
November or first week of November probably. If season 3 starts on time, because who's to say, oh, we're not delaying another few weeks for season 3 for whatever reason.
Yeah.
It's just I can't. like I'm sad because this is like the Halo with the 10-year plan, right? So it's like you can't even be like, oh well, this one's, stick a fork in this one, we'll just go for the next one, because what's next in the Halo franchise? Are they just gonna keep trying to add content? Add content? Are they gonna keep trying to update this mess? Like, you know, I'm here for the campaign, right? And it's like I haven't played the campaign yet, and so I don't know if there can be added more onto this campaign, or am I gonna have to wait till whatever Halo Finite 2? And it's just the franchise is in a bad place. It's a mess. 343 has fumbled the bag. Like, honestly, the only thing 343 has done correctly is remake the old games. That is literally the only, because 4 was not good. I hated 4's sound and art design. I'm sorry to the artists and the sound people that worked on it. Um, 5, a lot of people hate 5, and 6 shit the bed. Like, the 343 has just fumbled the bag from the word go. Like, they just remakes is what they're good at. They should have somebody come in and make Halo 4, and 5, and then they could just come and remake it, because they're good at remaking other people's stuff. They suck
Like,
at coming up with their own shit.
yeah, and I mean, and I think they said that now the new team behind Halo Infinite, right? Like, I don't know how long it's gonna take for them to transition, or if they transitioned already. But I think they were the ones who worked on MCC. So
Get them in there yesterday.
yeah, oh yeah, they should have been there the day of, whenever they wanted to start talking about making a game. Like, they should have been there from the beginning of the idea of Halo Infinite.
It's depressing as a Halo fan, but there's another game. We're gonna end on a good note. We're gonna try to wrap this up, because we've been here for over an hour now. We're gonna try to, just a quick hitter, if you will, to sort of end on a positive note. I'm a fan of Dying Light. You're a fan of Dying Light. We've had
Dying Light was great.
Yeah, Dying Light. Dying Light was great. Dying Light 2 has been released, but it was delayed. They delayed, and I will tell you, I was a little worried about Dying Light 2 because of what they promised early on, and then they went really quiet for a really long time.
They did go quiet.
Yeah, and then they sort of popped up again, and it was just kind of like, what the hell are they gonna give us? Now, Dying Light 2 is not a perfect game. But everything I've heard about Dying Light 2, its issues, and I've heard that there are some. I haven't played it because I want to play with Sir Gresham as well. What I've heard the issues of Dying Light 2 are not with the game itself. It's not buggy. It's not broken. The issues are with writing and story and all of that. But Dying Light 1's story was kind of hokey. But the studio behind Dying Light has done a great job updating Dying Light 1 throughout the delay of Dying Light 2. And even now, they've released a final update for Dying Light 1, even though Dying Light 2 is out. So this is a game company, I think the reason why we want to talk about it is because it's a company that they took the time, they put it back in the oven, they cooked it, they developed, and they still have given you actual decent content when they release things. So tell us what the Dying Light have given us.
Yeah, they had a final content drop, which was like the Hell Raid update, right? Which is kind of like I guess it's kind of like a new mode or new area or so, but essentially the biggest thing in this update was that if you own Dying Light, the base game, you would get the Dying Light Enhanced Edition, right? Which is what it includes in here is actually really good.
Yeah.
And it gives you Dying Light: The Following, which was the expansion pack where you got a new map, a new story, and even drive vehicles in them.
It's pretty cool.
And then 4 added DLCs, which gave you new game modes, just extra content, weapons, and skins. So all of that for the price of $3.99. Like, they just were like, this is our final update for the game. We've supported it for this long. Here is the upgrade to the Enhanced Edition. There you go. Like, The this is the level of I guess of involvement that a lot of people want in every game that they love, right?
Yeah.
It doesn't matter what game it is, whether it's Fortnite, sorry, Jay, or Halo Infinite, right? Any kind of game. The fact that you get supported content for a game that and had an ending and everything, right? But you're just getting content and content even after the sequel has already
Mm-hmm.
come out. You
Mm-hmm.
still received updates for this game. And I will say that this company, I believe it's Techland,
Yeah.
that's something that um, most people appreciate. They just are definitely very passionate in the projects that they take on, and that's awesome. The fact that anybody who's owns Dying Light can get a free upgrade to most of these DLCs and expansions. That's something that you don't see a lot in especially nowadays, right?
Yeah.
The other thing too is like is also that Dying Light 2, they've confirmed that they are going to provide at least 5 years of post-launch content, exactly just like their first game.
Yeah.
And to me, that is just awesome to know that you can be taken care of for at least a good 5 years of just content and updates is pretty refreshing for the current way that games are made or condition that games are, are
Yeah.
in right now, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, I think that's amazing, man. I mean, just that alone, you giving or they giving, that update
Mm-hmm.
is just awesome to see.
Yeah.
It's really really awesome to see, man.
I agree 100%. Um, and I think my sort of feeling is Dying Light is holds a special place in my heart. I had a lot of fun experiences with it, and I did get the DLCs. And I actually we didn't get to finish the following. I didn't get to finish through. It kind of pitted out towards the end, but a few friends and I in back in like I think it was 2016 or maybe even 2015, spent a long time playing through it on the PlayStation. PlayStation 4, and we had a lot of fun. So I'm looking forward to Dying Light 2. But just to see a game company sort of be like, look, this is our product, this is our passion.
Exactly.
We're gonna keep giving little content, and they kept doing events even on Steam.
Exactly.
They do events, they do things,
That's
so
why.
they keep up with it. They keep like Dying Light is not an infinite game, right? There's an end to the story, and I
Yeah.
believe once the story's over, I don't think you can roam around if I'm not mistaken. I think in the following you can, but like there's a point in which you can no longer do things, and they
Hmm.
keep it in a way that's like, no, you know what, you can't really do too much, but here's a reason maybe to pick it up again. Maybe here's a reason to start over it, and I think they should be applauded and lauded, and that's why I'm glad we were able to get this story in, yeah, even if it is
Yeah.
under the wire.
Yeah.
So
Like I said, you
bravo
don't
to
see this
them.
a lot, man.
No,
You don't.
no,
You
no.
do definitely don't see this in current games, and every it's just the time they take to add like events and stuff. That's always cool to see them do that. So I'm excited for what they're gonna bring to Dying Light 2.
Yeah, I'm really excited for it too. And we've reached the end of yet another BB&J show. And BB, do you want to say those famous words that we say at the end of every episode?
Yes, I want to say that if you're still watching this video right now, at this very exact moment, you are the MVP. Okay? Thank you so much for staying here and watching our show, listening to our show, sharing, liking, commenting. This is something that I always look forward to every week.
Mm-hmm.
So, you're the best. You're the bomb.com. But yeah, thank
Yeah.
you. Thank you. And man, this was a lot, but I feel like it needed to be said,
Yep.
especially a current or a specific segment that we were in.
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you. As BB said, you are the MVP for hanging through. I know that in today's world of content creation, it's more about the 15-second jump edits and cuts and
Yeah.
everything. So for those who stick through, just two guys just having a conversation and just chatting and just enjoying the conversation about games. We really appreciate it because it's our passion. This is what we love to do. We just love to talk shop. You talk games, you talk. This is just, and I've said it to plenty of people who have told me how much they enjoy it. This is why it works. It's because we're not scripted. This isn't, the closest thing to scripted is we figure out what we want to talk about, and then we just go because we're just having a conversation, and we hope that you feel a part of the conversation. And we thank you for hanging with us. It's been 14 weeks and 12 episodes. We look forward to many more, and of course check out the BB&J plays. We actually are working on some ideas for the next one, and maybe there might be some even guest appearances. I don't know. Let's stay tuned for that. It's going to be exciting. That's what they call a tease in the business. Check out BBansky's Twitch at twitch.tv/BBansky. I'm twitch.tv/OutlawMan. This, of course, has been the BB&J Show. You can follow us on Twitter at BB&J Show. You can email the show, bbnjshow@gmail.com. Leave a comment down below. For BBansky, I'm Outlaw Man. For BB, I'm Jay. I will catch you. We will catch you next time. I'm not going to catch anybody. I'm too lazy to run after anybody. But thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. Thank you for being a part of this wacky, crazy ride. We'll catch you next time.